On October 27, 2018, Robert Bowers is accused of walking into the Tree of Life Synagogue and killing 11 people. A day later, authorities said they were investigating the case as a hate crime. But Pittsburgh's Action News 4 wanted to know why it wasn't being investigated as an act of terrorism. So we came to the nation's capital to get answers.
On AK-47 fire from out the front of the synagogue.
That's Pittsburgh police on the day Robert Bowers is accused of targeting the Tree of Life Synagogue.
Suspects talking about all these Jews need to die.
According to the U.S. Code of Law, a domestic terrorist is someone who has committed a violent act toward human life that is intended to coerce a civilian population, influence the government by intimidation, or affect the government's leadership, and this all has to happen primarily within the United States.
There are 11 counts of murdering victims who are exercising their religious beliefs.
The day after the shooting, U.S. Attorney Scott Brady announced the case was being investigated as a hate crime. He said this when asked why it wasn't considered domestic terrorism.
It becomes domestic terrorism where there is an ideology that person is then also trying to propagate through violence.
We turn to Mary McCord to dig deeper on this. She considers Robert Bowers' alleged desire to kill Jews as an ideology. She's a senior litigator and professor at Georgetown University Law Center in D.C. But before that, she worked in the U.S. Department of Justice for years.
I think there's a hesitation, at least on behalf of federal law enforcement and federal prosecutors, sometimes from calling it that because they don't have a crime.
She says they don't have a crime because you can't be charged with domestic terrorism, at least not now as the U.S. Code of Law is written.
So, for example, Robert Bowers, by using guns, firearms, to commit his mass murder, he can be charged with hate crimes, and he has been, 44 counts, and those carry the maximum penalty. But he cannot be charged with domestic terrorism.
McCord believes someone should be able to be charged with domestic terrorism, and that doing so could lead to a better understanding of the growing threat.
There would also be much better data kept, because right now there's very, very imperfect data about domestic terrorism and hate crimes.
A lot of research too, I imagine?
Yeah, that's basically all I do.
Michel German takes issue with some of Mary McCord's points. German works with the Brennan Center for Justice Law Center and is a former FBI agent who specialized in domestic terrorism and covert operations.
If we give the government a new authority, what protection do we have that they're not actually going to be using that against groups that don't pose a serious threat to human life, which is the requirement under the statute.
Mary McCord argues that's what congressional oversight is for. Regardless, German says making domestic terrorism a crime is redundant.
There are plenty of statutes, and in fact, at the Brennan Center, we put out a report at the end of last year demonstrating there are 51 federal crimes of terrorism that apply to domestic terrorism.
He says these have been in place for years. Following the September 11th terrorist attack, Congress passed the Patriot Act, giving federal law enforcement multiple ways to handle terrorism. German says even with all these laws,
the way I looked at it as an investigator, I don't care what they're ultimately charged with. I want to use the most effective statute I can, and Congress gave the government the authority by passing a definition of domestic terrorism to call it what it is.
Bruce Kovac is a former federal prosecutor and currently a professor at St. Vincent College in Latrobe. He sees merit in both arguments.
But the concern is, who are you labeling? You cannot begin to just label everyone who has an aberrant view about something as a terrorist.
And Kovac believes lawmakers need to take on this issue because it could lead to better equipped state and local police agencies to tackle the problem.
If this creates a basis upon which people can begin to study these areas in more direct detail, that clearly will be a huge assist to law enforcement and public policy makers across the board.
Pittsburgh's Action News 4 reached out to the Department of Justice for this story. They replied with, "Thanks for the opportunity, but we're going to have to take a pass at this time." In Washington, D.C., Chris Lovingood, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.